Greetings, Redheads. Thank you for joining us in another episode of your favorite show, the one, the only Reds View. Of course, I am your gracious host, Jay Red, joined by the cultivating CJ from Cultureless Theory. You know, I got to give you a grand entrance like that. What's up, man?
Hey, I appreciate it, man. What's good? Happy New Year. It's too late for Happy New Year. It's too late.
It's never too late,
It's
brother.
okay. Okay. Happy New Year, man. Good to see you, bro.
Absolutely. Good to see you too, man. We brought in the new year right. A couple of what was that? A couple of weeks ago, I had did it at the hotel at the Wardolph. And if
Nice.
anybody follows me on the Instagram, you saw how lit we had it on there. But yeah, man. Before we begin, make sure that everybody make sure you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/RedsView. Shout out to all my people who are watching on Instagram. Shout out to everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube. Do us a favor, make sure that you hit that like button. Hit that like button so you can help the algorithm out. And man, we're about to get into it, man. It's a bunch of stuff that's been going on. I've been in good health, good spirits. CJ, I hope you've been feeling the same.
Likewise, man. I can't complain.
Absolutely. So, it's a lot of stuff that's been going on right now. One thing I want to say real quick, shout out to YFN Lucci. You saw that he's getting out in like 3.5 years. I mean,
Yeah,
I
man.
say 3.5 years,
Whoa.
3.5 months. My bad. I saw that. Shout out to YFN Lucci. That's some quick news, real quick. But y'all know he's been in jail for a while. But he was sentenced to 10 years and 10 years probation. But like I said, he's been in jail for damn near 5 years already.
Yep.
So he that counts as time served. So
Yep.
he'll be out in like 3.5 months. So shout out to him. And he
Yeah,
needs
that
to complete
I
this.
didn't know if that day was gonna come. I thought they had forgotten about him, honestly.
Yeah, because I thought that like my homeboy was telling me today, he's like, nah, he been in jail since like 2020 or 2021, something like
Yep.
that. And I was like, I thought it was before that. That's how long it's been. I thought it was like 2019 or something like that. So
Yeah, about three and a half, man. Solid. I was like, damn, bro. No update at all.
yeah, no update. So shout out to him. And another thing I want to shout out real quick. Did you see that WWE Raw next year on January 2025, the longest episodic running program in TV is going to be exclusively on Netflix.
I saw that, man. They dropped a bag for that too, and the consumers are going to pay for it because Netflix also said that they will be raising prices pretty soon. So best believe.
Oh yeah, and that was they broke them out 500 mil. I was like, damn.
Yeah, they dropped a bag.
And they were like, "Oh my God, people aren't going. The viewers." I'm like, WWE probably don't give a damn about the viewership at this
No.
point. They're looking at the bag.
Yeah, they don't give a damn about this shit.
They getting that Saudi Arabia money, like,
Yeah.
like
That's
WWE.
in Netflix hands now. They got to figure that out.
Yeah, for sure. So shout out to WWE for that. That's groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's
That's
huge.
the first of its kind. Like you're gonna see different stuff out there. They literally shaking up the game with that shit.
You know, it's big when they promoting it and it's in 2025. They
Right.
promote it now.
Because it said January, and I look back, it said 2025, and I thought it was just gonna also show on Netflix. No,
No, yeah.
this is going to be only on Netflix. I said, damn, like what that when has that ever happened?
That's big. I'm very interested to see. I thought Netflix was done. I'm not gonna lie. They might not be done. They fighting back.
Yeah, with WWE, they're not going nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna see how it goes though, but they're not going nowhere with that. All right, man. So thank you everybody for joining us, man. We're gonna go ahead and get into what we said that we were going to talk about today. As you seen the thumbnail, you see, of course, I always got when I talk about Drake, I always have to get the cultivating CJ from Cultureless Theory on here because that is one of his biggest fans right
Yes.
there. You see him live and in the flesh. So, man, Yasiin, let me see if I'm saying it right. Yasiin Bey.
Yeah. Yasiin Bey. Yeah. Yeah.
Yasiin Bey.
Yeah.
Mos Def. In my days, we called him Mos Def. All right.
Yeah.
Mos Def has been in the headlines because Drake has been throwing a pity party. Drake is very upset that Mos Def said that his music is pop. When asked, Mos Def, let me put it into perspective. Mos Def was doing an interview with I'm not sure who the chick was, but he was doing the interview. And they asked the woman asked him, "What do you think about Drake?" And he was trying to be hesitant at first, but then he just went on ahead and just said it. Like Drake is pop, he's not hip hop. I'm paraphrasing what he said, and then he said like he makes the type of music that would be played on Target. Now, let me present my screen and show you exactly what he said because I know I chopped that up. I chopped it up. All right, so listen to this real quick. Fair use.
Mm, I know.
Drake
Because
is
we're here for
pop.
truth. We're here for
Drake
truth.
is pop to me.
Right, that's fair. In the sense that it's charting like pop music, popular music.
In the sense, like if I was in Target in Houston and I heard a Drake song, so it feels like a lot of his music is compatible with shopping.
Okay, CJ, what you thought about that so far?
Um, he sounds like somebody that's not familiar with Drake's music or like his true catalog. He sounds like he's only known a couple of singles. And if that's the case, if he only knows radio Drake in passing, because most definitely look like he may have heard a Drake rap song and just didn't know it was Drake. He only knows the crossover shit. Then I can see him making that statement. But if you really know, minus the hate, even if you don't like him, I think other than Glasses Malone, you would agree that Drake is hip hop.
Okay, all right, let's keep watching.
It ain't that funny.
Commercial music.
Or it's
Commercial music, yeah.
shopping with an edge in certain instances. Or
Fair. I like Drake's music, but I understand exactly what you're saying.
of course, I mean, I
It's
get
commercial, entertaining, fun, good,
It's
formulaic music that
it's
is
likable.
likable music. Yeah.
It's likable.
But is it?
Hey man, Tommy Davidson wilding, man. Listen,
You said what? Tommy Davidson.
yeah, it's Tommy Davidson right there. He wilding, bro. He's hating, fam. This is hating. This if anybody ever wondered what's the difference between an opinion and hating, you are witnessing a hater right now. Because he the reason he's calling him pop and not hip hop is because Drake is capable of doing things a rapper has not been capable of doing before. And since he hasn't seen that, his idea of hip hop is being challenged. So to him, it's not hip hop. You saw the same thing in sports. If you follow sports, you remember when Steph Curry and the Splash Brothers first came out shooting 30 and 43s a game, and old heads like Charles Barkley was like, you can't win a championship living and dying by the three, until they won a championship, and then they won another one, and then they won another one, living and dying by the three. So Barkley wasn't wrong. He just hadn't seen it up until that point. That's what in my opinion, that is what he is doing right now. The Target shit is hating, though. That's hating. That's trying to be funny. But him thinking he's not pop is because, thinking he's not hip hop is because he hasn't seen, his idea of hip hop has never done this before. That's all.
Okay, all right, and I hear that. I don't think that he's hating. Hating is a strong word. What I think is that I agree with you. He hasn't seen this type of stuff done before, right?
Right.
Technically, that's kind of cap because Nelly was doing the same thing. Kanye was doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they just didn't do it as long or go as far as Drake did.
That's
However, hip hop has always kind of dibbled and dabbed into the pop thing that he's talking about. However, I don't think it comes from a place of hate. I think it more so comes from the sense of separation. Mos Def does a different type of hip hop or a different type of rap music because rap music is within the culture. Drake does different type of rap music from Mos Def, meaning that all the Drake fans who will be mad at Mos Def or Yasiin Bey, whatever you want to call them, that's not his fan base anyway.
No.
His fan base will be people who listen to Common, who will probably listen to X Clan, who will probably listen to De La Soul. You know what I'm saying? Black Star, Talib Kweli, Kanye is probably the furthest they'll go. But I mean, it's for the backpackers. You know what I'm saying? Now, Drake has that too, but there is a separation from within the culture. And I don't think it's hating for someone to say, hey, that's not the type of music that I like. And the reason he's saying Target, I get it. Because she asked him his opinion, right? I think it would be hating more so to say that Drake can't rap. That's hating because that's cap. It's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, even if he don't write his raps, the man can sound good. He don't write a lot of his raps. But anyway,
Oh my God.
it would be hating to say that Drake is not skilled. Drake doesn't make good music. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That would be hating. But if someone asked me an opinion about somebody I don't listen to Young Boy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Now,
Me neither.
you know what I'm saying? I don't listen to Young Boy. I don't listen to him. 85% of these new rappers that are out here, I do not listen to on the regular. But if I say, nah, they make music for little kids who stream music and stuff like that, that's not me hating. That's more so me voicing my opinion on why that music isn't for me. I come from a different breed, a different background, you know.
If
Go
you
ahead.
said NBA YoungBoy wasn't hip hop, that would be hating. If you said NBA YoungBoy makes music for people who read using their finger, that would be hate. Like that would be hating.
But is it hating if hip hop started like this and hip hop was known for whatever this is, right? I don't
Right.
want to put any labels on it. If I feel like that isn't the form of what hip hop is based off the foundation, and I say that's not hip hop, that's pop, right? Is that hating or is that just giving my opinion? Because I feel like it's hating if you just say that he don't have any talent. Like that's cap.
I put it like this, and somebody said this, and I just forgot. Damn, who was my man on Everyday Struggle after Joe Budden left?
I don't even know his name. I know what you're talking about though.
Dude, right there.
Uh-huh.
He tweeted. He said that the only reason people shit on Drake for this is because he's not from New York. If he was from New York, they wouldn't say this.
Mm-hmm.
And the perfect example of that is Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj has just the same amount of listen to Super Bass.
New York got on her ass though. Hot 97. You remember that beef, the war that was going on with her at Hot 97? She don't even perform Starships to this day because and you saw that. It didn't age well. She was going back and forth. Remember her, Peter Rosenberg, Charlemagne was getting everybody in New York. Charlemagne ain't from New York, but radio stations in New York. She had a problem because everybody felt like Nicki Minaj sold out once she did. We let her get away with Super Bass, right? But when Starships came out, nah. So I don't think it's New York thing.
But they don't. No one has ever questioned her being hip hop or not. Is what I'm saying. That's a different conversation.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Anytime people make popular music, people talk about it all the time. They called MC Hammer. They used to clown MC Hammer.
That's true.
Called him. They used to clown him. I hate when people say that him not being hip hop is not a slight. Yes, it is. It is a slight when he's saying he's hip hop and you're saying that he's not that. That's a slight. Calling him pop is a backhanded compliment coming from a hip hop space because pop has never been cool. It's been commercial. It's been trendy, whitewashed, lame, square, whatever you want to call it. That's not a compliment. And I think Mos Def is reaching, and he sound like Charles Barkley before Steph won a ring.
Interesting. Now the thing is, Drake didn't take too kindly to this, of course, right? And let's see what Drake had to say. Drake, this was the first one right here. Drake, and this happened last week. Drake uses Yasiin Bey's own lyrics as a response to Bey saying Drizzy's music is pop. He posted in his story a Method Man interview.
Yep.
And in that interview, let me see what it is say. Meth is saying hip hop is a culture. It's a way of life, the way you dress, the way you walk, the way I guess he said the way you walk again, breakdance and rhyme, stage, show, right?
Exactly.
And then he said, what say again? Let me shine my light, King. Don't change up now. So says, my said shine. Okay, so he used it from his song. Said. Says, okay. All right. So
that's Umi. Umi says, shine your light on the world, which is not a hip hop song, but never, you know what?
Okay. Then he goes on this one when Drake calls Yasiin Bey a crackhead after finding out details of Bey's alleged former marriage to a Toronto woman. Now, I thought this was very corny right here. Like, elite corny. This is my thing. And y'all, when y'all get a chance, you can go because it's just, I think it was some dude that was is he with OVO or something like that?
I think he might be.
Yeah, and he was just talking about it, and Drake posted a comment on it or some stuff like that. But this is my thing, man. Drake is light skin. I'm gonna just say it like that. He goes into his emotions too much, and somebody at his height, his caliber, shouldn't even try. And I'm not belittling Mos Def.
Right, right,
What
right.
I'm saying is they're in two different worlds. So, what benefit do you get for even throwing shade at Yasiin Bey? Y'all don't have the same fan base, and whatever you say, it ain't gonna affect him because he ain't even in that realm. So you throwing a shot at him, what does that really? I mean, that make you look weak, in my opinion. Why
Drake.
you stooping down to that level if you're, all this? Because all that, one thing I respect about what Joe Budden said about it is all those fans, and they'll be quick to point out record sale. All that shit doesn't matter when it comes to this convo right here, because
Yeah.
Mos Def is the purest of purists when it comes to the lyrical miracle type of whatever, right? So Drake even giving this attention and going as far, oh, used to be a crackhead, nigga, shut up. Like nobody
Well, he didn't say that. Let's be clear. He
Okay.
didn't say that. Somebody
he
else
didn't
said
say
it.
it, but
Yeah.
it's corny, to even comment and do all this other stuff just because I get it. You feel a certain type of way. Oh my God, he said that. This ain't the first time, dude. And Drake, I'm tired of Drake being in his feelings. You need to move like a boss. Move. Jay-Z is the perfect example of like how to move. If you're gonna do stuff behind the scenes, but don't let them see you sweat because somebody's saying that you make pop music. So what? I just don't get why. I get why that bothers Drake because I'm an artist myself, so I get it. But at the
Right.
same time, nobody can do what you do. You can write it off as hate, but why even respond to Yasiin Bey? I could see if J. Cole said this. I could see if Big Sean said this. Come on.
Yasiin Bey is respected, and he is a hip hop legend, and Drake is a student of the game.
True.
So he probably holds Mos Def in a high regard. And so the same way he held Common in a high regard until Common did what he did and they got into it. So you said Common fans listen to Mos Def. Ask Common if Drake is hip hop. What happened when Common tried to go at Drake? He got ate up. It bothers me when the gods get to acting like the broads. He ate his ass up on Stay Scheming, which is a very hip hop verse.
But Common ate his ass up on the other track. You Canada Dry. That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah, Canada Dry. That was actually pretty funny.
Damn.
No, that was funny.
Yeah.
But that doesn't hold a candle to Stay Scheming. My point is that there's several elements of Drake that are hip hop. He also has pop elements. Absolutely. Once you sell a certain amount and become so famous, yes, you're now popular now. Like that's what it is. You can say the same for Kanye. There's a couple of people you can say the same thing for. But you can't make this statement and then go over to the Fashion Week in Paris and do a acapella singing performance standing on a fucking Apple box in the middle of the goddamn a Chanel show, dude, and talk about somebody that's not hip hop, bro. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, but like I said, to be fair, they asked him his opinion on it. He answered it. That's how he feels about it. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. But at the same time, if I was Drake, I don't think that I would give that too much attention feeding into that. You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like they're in different worlds, man.
He's competitive though. Drake is competitive.
No, he's emotional.
And petty.
That's what you call that's emotional. He's not going to compete with. They're not. What is Yasiin Bey and Drake going to compete about?
He's going to crush them. You're right. There is nothing to compete about. He's going to crush them.
Drake.
He make a hit out of him. He can make a.
Yeah, get Sexy Red on there. Yeah, get that. Now look, I want to ask you about this because he's really not looking good for that song. It's a hit, but I think you know what I think because this is the second time within a couple of months that somebody said this about him being pop. Drake has always been quote unquote hated on because Drake fans y'all love throwing the hate word around
because he's at the top.
It's not even. I think that the culture may be tired of Drake. Now
that's possible.
The culture got tired of Eminem. I think that Drake is getting the Eminem treatment. You're at the top for so long, and we all rocking with you. We rolling with you. But the minute you fall off musically, which Drake has fell off musically, not in its entirety, but I mean, he's been putting out forgettable projects, like for real. So when you put out that type of material, that gives somebody easy leg room to throw rocks at you.
Well, here's the thing, though. People do not like. He even said it on More Lights. One of my favorite lines. People like you more when you're working towards something, not when you have it. So you can win the same way people hate Tom Brady. Everybody respects Brady,
Right,
but
right,
niggas
right.
was tired of him winning. Listen, like
True.
niggas was tired. Niggas tired of the Yankees winning. Niggas was tired of the Cowboys winning the '90s. People get tired of people winning over and over again because it's not your team.
Yeah, they got tired of John Cena winning. They called him Super Cena in wrestling. All that. But my thing is, he's getting that Eminem, you've been at the top too long treatment. And I think that right now, this is how I feel. The reason people are saying the whole pop thing and the hip hop purists are saying he ain't hip hop, he ain't pop. If Drake were to stop doing music right now, he wouldn't be respected. Like people would etch him out of the I'm telling you, people think about this, bro. What artist has received more hate about being pop and hip hop besides Drake in rap? Who?
Yeah, maybe Nelly, maybe MC Hammer, somebody like that. You got to go back.
Somebody like that, but Drake has been doing it longer.
I agree.
And you know what I'm saying? So Drake has been the quote unquote most hated on rapper. So the thing
Yeah,
is,
probably so.
yeah, and then the ghostwriting thing didn't make it any better. So what I'm saying is, if Drake were to stop right now, would his fans take up for him? Yeah, but it would be even cool to say, "Oh, that nigga ain't hip hop." People already took him out of their top 5. I'm talking about hip hop purists. You know, the core of the hip hop community already took him out their top 5 when they found out he didn't write his raps. So I think that he won't go down like, and trust me when I say this, he is one of the greatest of all time. I'm going to give him that. But I think historically, people aren't going to call him that simply because of the direction that he went into, which nobody else was able to do. That's a gift and a curse.
He's getting penalized for the skill set, and I just don't think it's fair. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
because trust me, if Mos Def could jump in and out of 3 and 4 different lanes and have his own plane, he would. He just can't.
Yeah, but do you get what I'm saying? As far as we're always gonna revere Jay-Z, Tupac, Biggie, anybody from Wu-Tang Clan, Nas, you're always going to like Andre 3000, even though Andre 3000 went the pop route too, but he stopped. He was like, okay, So, but Drake has been doing it for so long. I feel like when he stops, if his name comes up, you're gonna have this conversation. Oh, he's pop. I don't feel like the culture is going to appreciate him in a whole. He ain't finna go down like a Tupac, Biggie, even Lil Wayne. Like I'm telling you, I just feel like people are gonna write him off as just a pop artist.
Lil Wayne got a whole rock album, bro.
He do, but it wasn't that successful. I mean, who remembers that? Like, come on, man. But but anyway, that's how I feel about Drake, man. I want to get into some other topics because we got some stuff to talk about.
Let's get it.
Let's go straight into this one. Your boy D1. Now, D1, he called out NWA. D1 appeared on the Art of Dialogue podcast, and I've been watching pretty much every clip from it. And this is what he had to say about NWA. Let me share this with you. All right, here we go.
Once we acknowledge what you have contributed to the music genre, your whole career, and if we acknowledge that you've contributed a bunch of negativity, a bunch of violence, a bunch of disrespect of women, what do? Do we call you a legend? Or is it like, wait, we don't need to call you no legend? I think that calling people legends in hip hop is also a force of what helps to perpetuate negativity, and that's a trick of the enemy. That's a trick of that's the devil's work at its finest. We're gonna make it to where y'all start to call people legends and immortalize people inside of hip hop, and the main thing they've contributed is the glorification of violence, the disrespect of women, the glorification of drug dealing and drug use. Like that's crazy. We need to.
All right, so let me stop there. Now this is what I feel about D1. I like the fact that D1 sticks up to what he believes in. I like that he tries to influence positivity and not negativity and all this other stuff. However, Joe Budden said this, and I'm going to paraphrase what he said. You're trying to bring church and your belief system into a genre or a culture that ain't for. You know what I'm saying? Like, because what he does is bring it back to God, right? He brings it back to God and says it's the devil's work. And I have my own belief system. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, but like, I believe in the evil spirit, but I don't believe it's a man down there, Satan, going like, hey, you do this or whatever. I think that's an easy cop out for people to not be held accountable for themselves, even God to a certain extent. But I do believe in a higher power. But you spreading your word, I get you criticizing, you know what I'm saying, the glorification of stuff, right? But the thing is, that is a part of the culture of hip hop. And when you say NWA, now NWA had a lot of raw stuff, lyrics and stuff like that. And special ed did call them out, saying that was caused the destruction of rap and all this other stuff. But my thing is, what about, and do rappers glorify violence and all this? Absolutely, yes. And people should be held accountable. I get it, right? But is the same energy kept with Scarface, the movie Scarface? Is the same energy kept with Terminator? If hip hop wasn't even here with no gangster rap, would we be saying that this leads to the destruction in the black community, like movies and books and stuff like that, video games? Imagine if it ain't no hip hop, no gangster rap. Would he be saying the same thing going at the movies? Now, he has called out white supremacy. He has called out, I think, movies and films and stuff too. And I get that he's in the realm of hip hop and stuff like that, but you can't that's forcing religion on somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like he's doing, instead of just genuinely saying, hey, I want to make a change. You make the change by making your music. You criticizing other people. I get it. I get where he's trying to go with it. But my thing is, that's impossible to do. You know what I'm saying? And it just feels like you're trying to, it does feel like clout chasing. Because what you think you're gonna make Rick Ross or Meek Mill stop rapping about what they rapping about and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, so thing is, now you're saying, okay, we can't call anybody legendary, but we have criteria in hip hop or music in general, because it's still music. They have criteria in awards in movies too. You know what I'm saying? These gangster movies and all that other stuff where killing goes on, and people give rap such a bad rep, but a lot of these are studio gangsters. So I just look at D1 as in, man, you're trying to push your religion on everybody, and this ain't the way to do it. How do you feel?
He's a Christian rapper, faith-based rapper, and he was just in the news for talking about, like you said, Meek Mill and Rick Ross and Jim Jones. He called all of them out too for the lyrics. And he also spoke about he had just lost a friend to gun violence. So I kind of chalk that up to that it's kind of a sensitive subject right now, which I can completely understand. That's fair. To me, that's fair.
Absolutely.
Now, when you get to, I feel like this, every time somebody calls out hip hop for the conditions of the community, I feel like there's a politician somewhere sitting back with his feet up that was the person who signed off on cutting after school programs, cutting funding to certain areas, put it all in his pocket. He's on his boat that he used that money for, and he's laughing his ass off, dude, because I feel like the deflection is it's such low hanging fruit. Bro, the Grammys are giving them, the NWA, this award that they're celebrating them. That's where this came from. Bro, that shit was 40 years ago, bro. The conditions are equally as the same, bro. As long as there is rich and poor, nigga, it's going to look like how it looks, bro. They do not need NWA, Lil Durk, or nobody in between, bro. Like, it already looked like this. Everyone's not affected by it, even though the majority of people who listen to NWA are white. That's what he's leaving out. The overwhelming majority of people who consume that are white, and their conditions don't look like how he's describing our conditions. I wonder why. If it was simply the music, it would affect everyone listening to it. But that's not the case. You have to ask yourself, why does it only look like it's affecting us? When is he going to ask himself that? And aim that anger, or that whatever you want to call it, toward the people who really need to be put on the spotlight, that are sitting in the shade of the money trees grown, nigga, from the systems that they pull from, that really caused the shit that you're talking about.
Now, he has called out white supremacy, but this is when I start watching out for Negroes like that. anytime you start hearing these Christians, these highly religious people start saying that it's not white supremacy, it's the devil, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and all that, that's a cop out. That's when you're trying to take the focus and deflect from, when they say we're fighting each other and stuff, and white supremacy ain't the problem. I heard D1 say on a recent interview, we can talk about white supremacy all day, but it ain't just white supremacy, it's us too. Is there some truth to that on us being held accountable?
Of
Yeah, but
course.
all of our issues as Black Americans come from the systematic white supremacy. That's where it comes from. That's the root of it. That's the reason for killings. We're killing each other because we're deprived of resources. That's the reason we rob each other. That's the reason that we have single mothers out here, baby mamas. All the problems
Yeah.
stem from the system of white supremacy. They took the fathers out the household. So that should be the laser focus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I hate
agree.
when Negroes be doing that. Now, of course, we do. I'm not saying that we can't do better for ourselves, because
Of course.
that's how segregation, we were popping during segregation because we had no choice. If
Right.
you got a gun in your head, you're gonna do everything that you can to be able to live. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, or if somebody got some fire under you. But the thing is, for Negroes like that to be coming out and start talking about God, and I I believe in God too, but that's a cop out to be like, okay, that's the devil's work. When they start using terminology and stuff like that, I just can't
I
roll
think
with it.
I think that the reason is it comes off as preaching. It comes off as very preachy. Generally speaking, adults don't like to be preached to unless I came to you for that. Then fine, but just you woke up today and decided to preach to me, bro. You might as well just knocked on my door and just started. I ain't asked for that.
Right.
I ain't want. You know what I'm saying? That's not. Get away. But I will say, and we're not absolving individuals for their actions. That's what a lot of people get lost upon when you start talking about the history and why things are the way they are. They think that you're letting niggas off the hook.
Right.
No.
Right.
No, we're not. We're just saying if you don't know how things came to be, then you're bound to get distracted by shit like NWA getting an award 40 years after they've been out, dude. Like you're talking about that shit. Bro, what are you talking about? Musically, see, to me, I'm a fan of, I separate art from reality, right?
Fact. Me too.
Because the overwhelming majority of the movies, the music, the video games, it's all art. Has there been one idiot in bumfuck Mississippi that committed a crime and then rapped about it? Yes. There was a idiot that did that one time, for sure.
Right.
Generally, 99.8% of everybody else is just making art or hustling, or whatever you want to call it. It's all protected under art. So it's the same thing: music, TV, books, video games. I can go shoot up a school and then I blame it on Grand Theft. Nigga, Grand Theft sells millions of copies, bro. I'm the one idiot that went and did something and put it on that. You don't make a whole indictment on the video game industry. Like, stop falling for that shit, man. Like, understand why things are the way they are. And I'm not saying he doesn't, but I'm just saying let's put it in perspective and stop getting distracted by shit like this. It doesn't do anything, bro.
Facts. Exactly. So, and I know PM wanted to discuss him or whatever, but PM, you missed your opportunity to go off on him because he was going to go off on D1. But yeah, I like the message that he's spreading, but just going and criticizing rappers and stuff like that, bro, like
it's going to fall on deaf ears, but it's not going to work. Whatever he's trying to get accomplished, doing it this way, it's not going to work. I hate to break it to him. Yeah. And he seems like a nice guy. Right. He seems like he means well. I know he used to teach. I'm not questioning his motives or nothing.
Facts, yeah.
But it's just not going to work, bro. Going door to door. You're going door to door right now, bro, preaching. It's not going to work.
Yeah, that's gone. So yeah, that's D1. Y'all let us know in the comments what you think about that. If you are watching, make sure that you subscribe. Hit that like button. Shout out to Terrible 2 Sorter. Okay, I'm looking on Instagram right now. Saw some people. Yeah, shout out to all y'all. Make sure that you comment. Let us know what you think and everything. All right, now let's go into this. Since we're talking about calling people out,
yeah,
Dave Chappelle calls out Cat Williams. Now let's listen exactly what he had to say for those who haven't heard it. Dave did a stand-up. Was this a stand-up special? He was on stage, I know.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure.
It wasn't a special, but he was, he might have popped up at a little show or something.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what he had to say.
Is this. He only eats the niggas. He didn't say anything about any of these white boys. And none of these white boys function like that. And Cat is one of the best painters in the game. So why are you drawing all ugly pictures of us? Stop. And Cat and hurt people. But I'm a hurt person that never hurt people. And he does it all the time. Fuck this one and fuck that one and fuck this one. But nigga, I didn't do anything that you did wrong. You didn't do nothing wrong. Cat didn't do nothing wrong.
MREC TV.
I'm gonna bring a picture with a black guy. Cat did this to me. Cat was talking about shit that niggas did to other niggas, but not about anything the niggas did to him. If I told my story, it's this. He only eats the niggas. He didn't say anything about any of these white boys.
All right.
None of these white.
All right. So, do you think that Dave had a point?
Absolutely, because I thought about that as I was watching all of these clips get thrown out here, and it was entertaining. I'm not gonna sit here in front like that Cat Williams shit wasn't funny or entertaining. We love train wrecks. People love to stop and watch.
Facts.
That's exactly what it was. It's entertaining. You don't get this every day. Most people have pretty regular lives. But they may be thinking a lot of this shit that they wish they could say to their coworkers and friends and frenemies, but they don't. They hold their tongue and move about their day. So when somebody comes out here and goes off the way he was going off, I understand the appeal. But I definitely thought to myself, this nigga knows every nigga in the Illuminati, apparently. He sees every black invite to the Illuminati. I have never, ever, and this goes back even before Cat, I have never heard any white person being accused of being the Illuminati, bro. I haven't heard it one time. If it happened, I missed it. But I've heard Beyonce, Jay-Z, and now apparently Kevin Hart, who's apparently a plant. I get it. He may be closer to the situation. This is the lane that he's in. So I guess this is who he sees the most. So he may have the most information on. Okay, cool. But it did seem strange that he only went at niggas though. Like that energy looks weird in 2024 to me.
All right. Well, to make a point of what you said, you never heard about white people being in the Illuminati. White people are the Illuminati. So anytime you reference Illuminati, that's a code word for white supremacy.
Gotcha. That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
My thing with this was I understood what Dave was saying, and I'm on the fence with it. Not disagreeing with it or agreeing with it all the way. Now, when it says he didn't call out none of the white boys, Cat Williams don't deal with white people or white comedians, right?
Yeah.
Now he may be knowledgeable about, because one of my homeboys was like, yeah, white comedians steal jokes and stuff like that. Well, he don't deal with white people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I can't name you 10 white comedians off the top of my head with both of my hands.
I'm with you.
Or like relevant ones, you know what I'm saying? And of course, I know about Joe Rogan. Like, there's videos that my homeboy showed me that he was stealing jokes and Amy Schumer was stealing jokes and all this. First of all, Cat Williams was responding to people that came on that platform and said stuff about him.
That's a fact.
So that's the realm that he kept it in. So going at them was because of the white infrastructure. That's what all that was about. Because what was he saying? Well, the stealing jokes thing is one thing, right?
Yeah.
But as far as the stereotypes of black men, the feminization of wearing dresses, that's due to white supremacy. That's white Hollywood. Illuminati, that's white Hollywood. That's white folks. Everything pretty much was centered around y'all doing this to appease to the white folks to get opportunity. So to me, it'd be different if he was just purely talking about who they slept with. You know what I'm saying? Like just
some chatty patty shit.
Chatty patty type of stuff. But he was just basically saying, okay, you niggas are sellouts, pretty much. You niggas is plants or whatever, but it all had something to do with trying to be in the higher ups. So that's why I didn't look at it like he was cooning per se.
Right.
Because cooning is a thing. That's what Dave Chappelle kind of said. Because if you calling all these black folks, but you ain't saying nothing about these white folks, it's like, well, I am saying about white folks because these black folks are trying to be like the white folks. That's what I got from Cat Williams doing it. Now, I do think that he went too far. Like
Yeah.
him saying all that stuff about Ricky Smiley and Tyler Perry was unwarranted. Come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know, all Ricky, it was a misunderstanding. Him going saying you're I got it written in my contract that Ricky was only
got
gonna
a
wear a
waitress.
dress around me, and like if I ever work with him, and then he's only good at playing Bernice Jenkins. Ricky didn't deserve all that.
Yeah.
The shots that he was throwing shots at everybody, but I think he was just in the moment and
True.
frustrated about, because if that's all you deal with, you're gonna talk about the niggas.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think a lot of people don't know the context of him responding to. I don't know if a lot of people know that, and so the optics of the clip after clip after clip after clip is just him snapping on there, and it's just like, damn. A lot of people are like, where this come from? Well, actually, maybe people didn't even ask that; they were just entertained, so they didn't care where it came from, or maybe they don't like Kevin Hart, so they're glad somebody going in on him, or whatever the case may be.
Facts.
And I look at Cat as like the people's champ.
Yeah,
He's the guy again. Like I said with the Drake line, bro. People love you when you're working towards something, not when you get it.
right.
So it's a reason why Kevin Hart didn't get this hate until he got to be Kevin Hart. It happens, bro. You can't pull one successful. Well, maybe one. It's a small minority of black successful people who have made it in an industry that are all owned by white people. Like I don't like what industry is not. So you're going to have to, if you're trying to ascend, you're going to be schmoozing with motherfuckers. That's just the relationships. That's how the game works, in or in out. With that withstanding, there's only a small handful of people that are ultra successful that are black that people don't call crossover, or it's not many. Like it's just so you in the lose, bro. That's what Kevin Hart be on, bro. I'm damned if I do, I damned if I don't. So I might as well just do what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah. I get that. Because one thing that Ari Spears was saying was that nobody's gonna lose their fan base. Whoever he went at, Steve Harvey's still gonna get his money.
Agreed.
Ed gonna get his money and all this other stuff. That was Cat Williams basically letting other like up and coming comedians know you don't have to succumb to what they did. I'm successful doing it the way I did. You know what I'm saying? He just did it in the traditional Cat Williams way. This isn't anything new.
But some people say he fumbled this situation too, though. Depending on who you ask.
Yep. Depending on who you ask.
We seen the Target footage.
Yeah.
Niggas don't remember that.
Yeah. And he fighting with a little teenager and all that other stuff.
The niggas forgot about that too.
Yeah. Because that wasn't brought up in that interview, but he got choked out by a little 14-year-old. I remember that.
Real quick, do you think Kevin Hart's a plant?
The way Cat Williams described it, yeah. Now,
how did he describe it?
He said that like the first time that I knew who Kevin Hart was, and I was paying attention to comedy back then, was Soul Plane. I didn't know who the hell he was. I just saw Soul Plane. It was a star-studded cast, and I was like, who is this dude? Maybe he's been working. Like, I didn't know who he was. So for him to say Kevin Hart really didn't, he moved to LA from the East Coast, and that's what I questioned. I was like, yeah, he didn't have. Usually you see somebody build up before they're starring in their own movie with a star-studded cast like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For that to happen, that did kind of look plant-ish. You know what I'm saying?
So let me give you some context, because that wasn't the first time that I saw Kevin Hart. He was on Paper Soldiers.
I know
first.
That's the first thing that everybody that you had to been tapped into hip hop like to Rockefeller, not just hip hop.
But that's my point though. That's still an ascension, because that was nothing. And Dame Dash, when Dame Dash talks about it, he's talked about it a couple of times. He saw Kevin Hart working the East Coast thing. He went to a stand up. I think he was in Philly or New York. Thought the nigga was funny. Gave him nothing and put him in the movie. That movie was ass. Paper Soldiers is trash. So, but that's my point. There's people I can point to that seem like they woke up on third base in some of these businesses. That and shout out to that wasn't Ari Spears. Somebody, I think Corey Holcomb said, "Nigga, how is Kevin a plant, but Gerard Carmichael? What, bro? Are you serious?"
Yeah, I mean, Gerard Carmichael, Cat Williams kind of called him out too, though, I think.
But that's somebody that nobody's really ever stamped as, oh yeah, I was coming up with him. I remember Kevin Hart was I was in the club in Nashville. He had just done a stand. This was before Paper Soldiers. Mm-hmm. He was in the club. And he's very short in real life. If you've ever seen this nigga, bro.
He looks like it. Yeah.
Bro, he's extremely short. I remember him in the club, like just in like the little VIP roped off, like.
Yeah.
Bro, these niggas have come up stories, bro. There's certain people that don't. There's certain people in music that don't have come up stories that get overlooked, and I really wish people would be like, bro, what about that, nigga? I just feel like, nigga, I feel like I get a little bit of jealousy vibes, just a little bit.
Yeah, that's
of
true.
Kept from him coming at Kevin Hart, just a little bit.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, when he said that, I was like, That usually I'm seeing somebody work up,
right?
But you know what I'm saying? Like it was a while before, like starring in your own movie with another, like a star-studded cast like that. That was.
Bro, we're not gonna talk about Soul Plane like it's like it's Godfather. Hey man, relax.
Well, I'm just saying, back at that time, you had a bunch of comedians who were well more known than him. You know what I'm saying? And for him to be starring in that, you had
that nigga's on the poster with like 7 different people, dude. Like it ain't like he on that motherfucker like standing in the middle, like.
But he was the main character in the show. I mean, in the movie,
he was, yeah, for sure. But nobody knew who he was, though.
Exactly.
Like you still,
I think that's one of the reasons the movie flopped too. It
wasn't good though, bro. Like that movie's not good.
Yeah, it wasn't good, but also
that shit ain't good, bro. That's a joke, niggas. We call that. That's like a punchline, bro, for a whack ass black movie, bro. It's Soul Plane. That's the one that everybody has seen and didn't do shit in the box office. It flopped.
Yeah, it flopped hard. Yeah.
And so that's paying dues, in my opinion. Gerard Carmichael came out of nowhere, had his own show in his own name on NBC, on one of the 4 major networks. What is that?
Well, we also know
there's more to that. Chance the Rapper to me is a plan.
Okay. Yep. I feel that. Well, I saw that TK Kirkland was on like one of these he was on Vlad, and I think he was on the Art of Dialogue, and he was like, there's no such thing as a plant. I'm like, bro, stop.
He said in comedy. He was talking about in comedy. That was
comedy. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if he was acting like he was talking about. I heard Art of Dialogue today, and he was talking about like entertainment.
Oh, just period.
Yeah, he's talking about that. Yeah, and I'm like,
nah, there's plants in music, bro.
Yeah, bro, come on. Like,
there's
I'm like,
do
you not know what a plant is? So yeah.
Lil Pump is a plant too.
Absolutely. You definitely got plans, but I don't know. Like I made the video talking about if Kevin Hart was, but I don't know if he is. But but to go with Dave Chappelle, I don't know. Like I felt what he was saying, but you know, I already explained that.
Yeah.
So let's move on to this one. Ja Rule says it's statistically impossible for him not to be top 50. What you think about that?
Yeah, he was referring to that Billboard list, that top 50 list that he did not make. So here's the thing. His stat, let me be clear. I was a Ja Rule fan when he came out. I thought he was dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I thought he was dope.
Yeah,
50 crushed him. That still happened. That was a thing. He ended his career without question. But I thought for a short 4-year window, Ja Rule was actually kind of nice. I thought he kind of got people felt the type of way because he was doing something a little different. Yeah. So I get it. But I thought he was dope. And he sold a shit ton of records. Now, of course, that's not the only metric. And for this list, they said body of work and achievements, cultural impact and influence, longevity and flow. Those were the 4 criteria to make the list.
Yeah, and let me pull up this article, exactly what he said. He said, I'm not a hater. Congrats to everyone on the list, but these lists, they're meaningless because music is subjective. You like what you like, you know, everybody has their favorite artist, but my thing is, this is a list comprised by Billboard. They do numbers and statistics, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so that list is impossible to make without Ja Rule being on it. Statistically impossible.
Yeah, statistically, yes.
That would exactly. There are artists that don't have #1 records, don't have #1 albums. I'm not knocking anybody on the list because, like I said, music is subjective. And when it comes to some of the older artists, you kind of got to go by different metrics because they didn't have the sales. But I said what I said. Now, yeah, when I saw that, I mean, where's the
but this was a Billboard /Vibe article,
/Vibe, okay,
which is why those other pillars are important, even though stats did play a role.
Right.
And he is right. And we're just talking numbers. But see, Nelly wasn't on the list either.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I didn't even see the list, I don't think.
Yeah, Nelly wasn't on it.
Yeah. And that's because, if you're talking about statistically, numbers wise, you would have to put Ja Rule and Nelly on.
So I'll cut them some slack because now if they would have had Nelly and not Ja Rule, I've been like, okay, what are we going by? But you got to understand, bro. Melly Mel is on the list, bro. With all due respect to Melly, you see what I'm saying? That's what he was referring to with the older artists. Like it's kind of hard to.
Yeah,
it's like have you watched the old dunk contest from like '85?
Yeah. You can't go you by the same thing because like Big Daddy Kane didn't sell nearly as many records as people in the '90s and stuff like that.
He didn't have it nowhere near his impact globally. Respect. Right. I mean this with all due respect. I'm just saying that the game has grown exponentially since then. Right. So it's really hard to. It's like saying can Durant play in the '80s and can it's not fair. It's different now. But with that being said, I think Ja Rule should be in the top 50. I'm looking to see who I would take out, and it's hard. Jadakiss is number 46. Could he go in and could you swap that out?
Hell yeah. I mean, Ja Rule over Jade. Now I'm not saying he's a better rapper, but
of course not.
If you talk about music and his Ja Rule, take Jadakiss out of there.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a no-brainer. Yeah.
I agree. So that's why that's all I'm saying. I understand what Ja Rule is saying. I'm slightly biased because I like this music. I think he gets a bad rap because of how 50 did him.
Yeah, that's it, man. Ja Rule was really killing it. He was one of the number one rappers at the time.
Facts.
DMX, he was
Jay.
Yeah. That was a good time. Eminem, like that 2001, 2002. Nelly. Yeah. You had they were stars.
Facts.
So that's a different thing. So I feel Ja Rule on that. Wasn't mad at him. Let's move to this one. Did you see your boy BG? Shout out to B Jizzle.
Yeah.
He was on, I think, a live saying that Lil Wayne, get at me, man. It's this paper. It's paper on the table. Let's get this paper. Blah, 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 blah. After a few weeks ago, he put out a song where he called Lil Wayne a bitch.
Yeah.
So, I saw some people today in one of these groups that I'm in. They were saying that, BG, we don't want to see hot boys together. BG ain't good no more. First of all, let me say this. BG still can rap. He actually got better, in my opinion.
No, he sounds good. He sounds good.
Yeah, he sounds good. He's more lyrical than he has been. I'll tell you that.
I agree.
So his talent is still there. However, I told people there's not going to be a Hot Boys reunion. Now, an appearance maybe. Lil Wayne got a show. He brings out the Hot Boys. That could happen. I don't see the Hot Boys going on tour together. I don't see like a full-fledged tour. Now, of course, the reason why is because why would Lil Wayne go on tour with Hot Boys?
Yeah.
Just out of the kindness of his heart?
Yeah.
He don't need them. Lil Wayne, people be forgetting, man. Lil Wayne is like, even BG said, nigga, you like Taylor Swift. Yes, look, Weezy is up there. Now, I don't think he's nearly as good as he used to. Well, he has glimpses.
Yeah, he has.
But Weezy is a pop star. Like, this dude is mega. Like, he's one of the GOATs. Like, it ain't no people will have him ranked as number one on their list. That's how big he is. Nobody from Cash Money, like the old Cash Money, is on nobody's number one as far as on a global scale of hip hop altogether. I love Juvie, love BT. Sure. Shout out to Turk. But Lil Wayne is up there with Jay-Z and Nas and them.
Yeah.
He can go get a Hot Boys Cash Money reunion bag by himself. Or if he wants to really double up his money, get Drake and Nicki to go on tour. Why the hell would he go and get the Hot Boys based off of nostalgia alone? There's no benefit for Weezy to do that besides just giving the culture something that we want, would like to see. But I don't want any more new music from the Hot Boys. That was a super group. See, it's a difference between Hot Boys and Bone Thugs. Hot Boys and Goody Mob. Goody Mob, Bone Thugs, they came up together. You know what I'm saying? Bone is family. So if they put out new music together, it'll still be in sync because they didn't outgrow each other because they still do shows together. They're still a group. Then nobody from Bone or nobody, well, Goody Mob's a little different because CeeLo blew up. True. But CeeLo did some pop, like singing shit.
Yeah.
But, nobody from those groups really just became this star to where they can't come back and, put out music together because they're still in sync. But Lil Wayne ain't the same Lil Wayne from back then. So, I don't want no new music from him. What you think about that?
Yeah, I said this when BG got released. If y'all are looking for this Hot Boy reunion, I don't care if it's a one night only. Please do not hold your breath. Lil Wayne is booked and busy for the next 3 years. Today, don't. There's no need, bro. By the time he free, we've been done forgot about the fam. Wayne is trying to get to the Super Bowl next year. He's trying to perform at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. He has his eyes on that type of shit. This Hot Boys reunion is cute. I promise you, if they had a one night only, I would probably fly to wherever it was at.
Absolutely.
But that shit, it's me and everybody else. Man, that shit it's not going to happen anytime soon.
Right.
Maybe 2 years, maybe. But BG's taking shot. Yeah, maybe 3. He's taking shots at Turk now. I heard him on the new freestyle.
Right. And why would Wayne want to be? Wayne has a brand. Why the hell would Wayne want to be associated with that? Somebody who's institutionalized. And Turk came out saying that they had crabs together and all this other stuff. Turk has ran his brand into the ground of what he could have been. BG then came out on some BS, putting out good music, but you calling Wayne a bitch and talking about some, well, that's my brother and all this stuff. I'm like, why would Wayne even want to be associated with that?
I think BG is playing the internet game right now.
I think so too.
He's playing the internet game. He's playing the algorithm game. It's working. Yeah, because the song with him and Finesse got clicks because of that. Right. Shout out to that Kane and Abel Gangstafied that they flipped though. That shit was dope.
Yeah.
But once BG gets out of that shit, Wayne is on. He doing Sports Center or whatever the hell he doing right. Like dude is everywhere, bro.
Right. Exactly.
So it's not gonna happen again. I'm a fan of the space that we're in right now in hip hop, where you can have reunion shows and anniversary shows for albums. I love shit like that. I went to the Bad Boy reunion in New York. It was lit. I went to the Rough Rider reunion in New York. I went to the So Def reunion down here in the A. That shit pop off, I'm hopping on a flight. I love shit like that. I love the one night only joints. If they do a one night only, I'm pulling up.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. I got plenty of time to get my money where it need to be because it's not going to happen anytime soon. I can fuck around and get VIP. I'll be good to go.
Right.
But I'm there if it happens, but it won't.
Absolutely.
Anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. So
unless if Wayne did it, it'd be a real nigga move. I promise. I'd commend him because I know he's doing it to take a cut and make sure niggas eat. I would respect it from here until the end of time. But bro, I also respect his position. Like, bro, I roll out of bed. I don't roll out of bed for nothing less than 200, bro.
Come on, man.
Like a quarter ticket. I don't roll out of bed, fam. So
and his fans don't give a damn about the Hot Boys. I mean,
his kids don't. The people that he birthed they don't care about this shit.
If you like the Lil Wayne starting at the Carter on up,
then you don't
give a damn about the Hot Boys.
You like Young Money, Lil Wayne. That's what you know.
Yeah, you don't know Cash Money, Lil Wayne.
Yeah, no.
You know Young Money, Cash Money. You don't know Cash Money like we know. So yeah, that wouldn't even make sense business wise for him to do it. It would get us to come, but his other fans. But who the hell is BG? My fiance don't even know who BG was.
See,
I was like, damn, like you don't know. She ain't no Turk. She know Juvie, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But you don't know BG.
She shouldn't. I'm gonna be honest. With all due respect to BG, bro, she shouldn't. He been out the way, but when people are out of sight, out of mind, bro, you got to look at the difference between where Wayne was when he went in and where he at now. Like, bro, it's not even. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if I play a song, she'll probably, that's who. Yeah, if you play Bling Bling, she probably heard that maybe.
She did, but she didn't know who BG was.
Like,
So, but anyway, let me move on to this one. I want to talk about something outside of music real quick because this has been a heavy topic going on right now with Taraji and all this about the money and all this. Now, let me tell you the reason why I feel like The Color Purple flopped, and it did flop. Came out Christmas Day. I think it did 50 million, which was pretty good, but right after that, it just came to a standstill. Now, the reason why The Color Purple flopped, one, it's a musical. A lot of people didn't know. They thought they were just remaking The Color Purple, which it is a remake, but they remade it as a musical. And I think the musical has been touring for years, but they decided to do a full cast. And I got a partner that worked on that show too. Okay. The other reason, and I feel like one of the biggest reasons, is we don't want to see movies like that anymore in the Black community. We're not going to come in large boat to see separation between black men and black women like The Color Purple did in the 80s. Like, we're tired of slave movies. We're tired of those type of, you know what I'm saying? Like, The Color Purple really, I ain't gonna say made an impact, but it really did damage some relationships from my understanding when I was reading about it. During it, I never really even like, I know it's a classic and I've watched it before, but I've never liked that movie. What is there to really like about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a bunch of trauma and all this other stuff. So you trying to bring that back into the black, we're too woke and conscious at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. You can't bring those type of movies in this climate. You know, now we battle each other on social media and all this other stuff, but that's social media. To get a black person to come out and pay to see that. Now, my mom and them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're gonna go.
The boomers and all them, you know what I'm saying? You know, they'll see it. But hold on, what's going on? Let me okay, yeah. Instagram just went out. But yeah, the boomers, you know, that's something like if you were an adult in the 80s, you know, you probably want to see it. But people our generation, man, I think that collectively we're tired of that, especially when you got like different movies like Hidden Colors and Buck Breaking, and we've just became so socially conscious to where you can't drop movies like that on us and expect us to come see them in large boat. If you want to impress us, put out a Black Panther. Show us winning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Showing us being heroes and making a difference. That's going to get billions of dollars. But if you come out with some tired ass, the black man hates the black woman and slavery type of stuff, not saying that they you know, you get right. Like that type of stuff. And the last one, that the reason I feel like The Color Purple flop is because of Taraji P. Henson. She went on a press run describing that how bad it was to be on set. I mean, not be on set, but like working, like we didn't have this, we didn't have that, and you complain about not getting properly paid. How do you do that in a press run before the movie even come out? So if you're a Taraji supporter, you like, damn, she ain't get paid for this shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? Why would I want to go see it? That damaged, because I saw an article where she talked about, I wish that people would focus more on the message in the movie rather than what I was saying. Why did you say it?
Yeah.
You could have waited until after the box office numbers then came out.
Yeah, she didn't. Her statements hijacked the whole conversation, and it slowed the momentum down. Now, I will say, I know I haven't seen it, and I didn't plan. I'm not a musical person though, so it really ain't got nothing to do with The Color Purple. So I wasn't gonna see it. It could be any musical. I'm not pulling up, but everybody that I know that has seen it, they all said it was good. I haven't heard anybody that said it was bad. Honestly, that didn't already think that about the original. Now that's one thing.
That's the thing, though. Like the people who had, but those people are older now. You know what I'm saying? And I saw Boosie went in there, and I read the book. I had to read it for one of my classes in college. Like to read, that was the first time I read it. But the lesbian activity that was in it, right? That was a part of the book. They just didn't show it in the first movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Boosie walked out. You was, they got the LGBT stuff. So that's why I was like, I know it's an agenda pushed out here, but to be fair, they did. Alice Walker did put that in the book. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that wasn't a surprise. But yeah, man, you just those type of movies, I'm telling you, they're just not gonna work. Taraji didn't make it no better, but I don't think those movies work anymore.
No, I don't. Yeah, the appetite for that type of movie has definitely gotten smaller because we've got other options now. Right. But let's be honest though, in order for a movie like this to do well, it has to get attention from more than just black people, bro. White people have to go see it too, because they just in terms of tickets and receipts, we'd have to see it 4 and 5 times. Why they put 100 million behind it, I'm not sure. That seems insane. Now the first one back in the day was successful. You can thank Steven Spielberg for that. You can thank the lack of fatigue from period pieces, but in order for it, because I can't tell you the last movie that only black people saw that went crazy. I just don't know. I don't know what that would be. Like you mentioned Black Panther, nigga, everybody was in that bitch. Like that. Yeah, everybody saw that a few times. They had a big machine behind it.
Absolutely.
That crossed over.
But I don't even think it was just the big machine. I think that black people, when you put that was like one of the first movies. We've had movies like that, but but like a straight up superhero. Blade,
It was a moment.
It was a moment.
Yeah.
And it was like going through, and it was African. Like you couldn't make that white because it's like
Right.
Africa's is black as you can go. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts. But white people wanted to see it too, though. The machine is why white people wanted to see it too.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We wanted to see it because it was something refreshing, new, cool.
Right.
They did it grand. Like, yeah, Blade came out, or whatever else you want to think. And those were Blade is actually pretty dope too. But superhero movies were different in '98 than they were in 2018. And they lit in 2018. Like, they was cool back then.
Yeah.
They got $1 billion budgets now. This shit popping.
And you can thank Blade for that, because if Blade didn't come out, you wouldn't have the MCU.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure. That was one of the early joints that popped off.
That was Marvel's selling point. Like, that is the reason that the MCU was able, because they put out Howard the Duck before that. That shit flopped.
Yeah, and ain't nobody care about
Blade
that
just to do it and see what happened, and it became successful. That helped fund everything else.
Yeah, that's where you get X-Men and all of that stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
But yeah, now there's a couple of factors why it flopped. You're right. The appetite for that is not. We need a variety now. This can't be the one movie we get in a quarter and it be this. Like, we can't get one every quarter and two of them are time period pieces, and we're like,
yeah, we good on that.
Yeah, we good. If we had 15, okay, then you can squeeze this in, but they too far and few between, bro. I don't win the next one. Well, but maybe Bob Marley, maybe, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, because I saw that. I didn't even know it was coming out till a couple of days ago. I said, okay, I might see it. I don't know. I might wait till it come out on.
I think I might slide to that. I'm interested because I don't know anything about Bob. I'm not into reggae, so I don't know the story.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to learn something new.
Absolutely. So one other topic that I wanted to talk about was this one, because me and you were conversing in the DM about this one. Who's the most controversial rapper of all time? Now, I say he's no longer living. His name was Tupac Amaru Shakur. The current one living, of course, would be Kanye.
Facts.
Right? But if you're talking about controversy, like, there's nobody. Tupac has been dead for damn near 30 years now. In a couple, like 3 more years, it'll be 30 years, I think. No, 2 more years.
Yeah,
technically
96. Yeah.
So there hasn't been anybody to do that, and I forgot how I came up with this topic because I was talking to somebody about it. But yeah, and we was talking about it. You started naming other rappers, and I was like, you got them, but nobody who has been shot and died. For one, it got shot once, then died. Got arrested multiple times, jumped ship labels, and just got accused went to jail for rape and all that. Like, come on, man. Who's more controversial than Tupac, you feel like?
Nah, Pac lived like 8 different lives in his very short span on Earth. He covered a lot of ground to be a 24 or 25-year-old. For sure. When you said that, I was like, okay, now that makes sense. Current day, it's Kanye.
Yeah,
because he may be the first rapper to literally get canceled, and he who knows if he's back or not. But he has been a lightning rod, and he pisses off more than just one community too. Right. Absolutely, he's pissed off black people, white people, everybody in between. He's a controversy magnet. Every time he says something, it makes waves, it makes news. So in the social media present day era, it's Kanye. You could argue post Pac, maybe Eminem. He caused a huge stir. People were boycotting him and they were rolling over his CDs, and they were doing all of that. And nothing. I don't remember him getting arrested or nothing crazy like that. But
exactly,
just for the music, the content, like Luke and all them, that's where the parental advisory sticker came from. Was off Luke.
Yep.
So throw them in there. That's the Mount Rushmore of controversy.
Absolutely. And you got people like the Baby. He's controversial
for sure.
And you got
for different reasons.
Yeah, for different ones. But I would say somebody who consistently, and it's because of Kanye's mental condition.
Of course,
I saw Dame Dash say the other day, was like, why do y'all keep putting him on a platform? Cat Williams said the same thing. If y'all know he's crazy, why are you giving him a platform?
You know why.
Yeah, of course. Because Dame Dash said this. He was like, man, When you got money and you're bipolar, people follow behind you and listen to what you got to say. If you're broke and bipolar, they're ready to get the hospital on you.
Facts.
To the hospital. I said, damn, that makes sense. Like
that makes a lot of sense. When you've built up the resume, and Kanye had a resume too. Like, let's be clear, he hasn't been crazy since College Dropout.
Yeah.
He built up a resume, built up a huge following. He's really probably one of the most, when it comes to hip hop, he's got fans in 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. He's got fans in damn near every generation, honestly.
Yeah, he got the young ones now too.
So that's very rare air. Like, you don't do that by not pissing somebody. Like, you have to be polarizing and have a very strong opinion for people to latch on to you the way that they latch on to him. So
right.
He would be the current day for sure. But that's a great question though. And you made a good point about Pac. Man, he lived 5-6 different lives, dead ass.
Yeah, for sure. So that's why I was like, yeah, Pac for sure. I couldn't really think of somebody else that would. Now, let me ask you this real quick. What did you think about Dr. Umar's point about Eminem not being the GOAT because he's white? Now, people who've watched me, I gave my opinion about it some videos ago. But let me know what because now people who are tuning in, Eminem, Dr. Umar said that Eminem cannot be the GOAT because this is African culture. It came from African people. And a white rapper can't be the GOAT of hip hop because he's white.
Yeah, I first of all, shout out to Joe Budden, because when Joe Budden made the statement, he said he was a GOAT. He didn't say he was the GOAT, but he let Umar cook because he knew a clip was going to come from that. So he let him cook. He didn't cut him off. So smart potting from Joe Budden. It's on brand for Umar, so I understand that. I don't think the reason Eminem's not the GOAT is not because he's white. There's several other reasons. He's got more whack albums than good ones. You know, there's a couple of other reasons. It's on brand for Umar. I think somebody brought up a good point though. Does this work in reverse? Because white people invented basketball.
I said the same thing. Now, this is the argument that they've been saying.
Okay.
That's a sport, and this is art. Art can't be you can't what's the word I'm looking for? You know, in sports, you come up with rules and it's a way that you win. It's competitive, right? And you have trophies,
statistics and
all this.
There's metrics.
With music, you know, it's metrics. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It's metrics in that, right? It's a winner and a loser, whatever. But with music, it's art, and you can't do that with art. I disagree with that because what do we say about hip hop? It's a sport.
Yeah.
Also, we have a metric system in music.
Yeah.
Billboard.
Yeah.
You
do certifications, Grammys, you've got similar. So that's the tricky part. Yes, sports has metrics, but there's also things people grade others. You have to have skills to play basketball. And you might have a skill that you might have the same amount of rings, but you got another skill set that this other person don't got. So that's what puts you over the top. That's always been the tiebreaker, the eye test. It's the same thing for music. Yeah, okay, they both got 8 Grammys, whatever. They both got 10, but this nigga can rap on. His flow is better, his voice is better. There's intangibles that you can count for both arenas. So that's where I think it's still a fair question, and I really wish Joe and them would have brought that up, because I would love to hear. I want to hear his perspective. I want to hear Umar's perspective on it.
Well, that's what he said. I saw somebody say something on his Instagram, and he wrote that pretty much.
Oh, okay.
You can't do sports, and other people were saying that you can't compare music and sports. But my whole thing is, you can. Because it's still metrics. If it's just art, which music is a form of art, but it is critiqued. It is on a metric system. If you put out an album, and if it doesn't sell, if you're on a major label, you put out an album, if it don't sell, they're gonna say it flopped. Yeah. Right. Yep. There's a category: best rap album, best sung rap album, best this, best that. You win an award. That's how you determine it. How else can we say you? How come people are trying to get the number one spot if it's not competition? Yeah. So that's why I was saying, that
don't apply. I don't think that.
And I was saying Eminem, because it ain't because he's white, because
Right,
I
no.
don't feel like does him being white have a lot to do with his success? Absolutely,
Of course,
but
yeah.
that's not the only reason.
Yeah,
Because
no,
if
no,
that was
no.
the case, Vanilla Ice would still be relevant.
Yeah.
Bubba
Bubba's-
Sparks will be relevant.
Yeah.
Every rapper, there hasn't been a white rapper like Eminem.
No, of course not.
Ever.
And we talked about the hater. You would be hating if you didn't understand the difference between those three people you just named. You would just be hating.
Exactly. So you can't shit on like Eminem get a bad rep and all this, but Umar to make that statement, I'm like, yeah, well, white folks invented basketball, and now we created all forms of music, I think, for the most part. So it's tricky
because I mean, can you say the same thing for film?
I mean,
can a black director be the best director of all time? Are we? You see what I'm saying? Like it's that's art.
It
is. Can he be the best actor?
I mean, it's a different thing based off of. So if I create something and somebody comes and has the skill set, and it's people say it like, you know what I'm saying, that now I get it. We as a culture liked Eminem at one point. I'm not saying
for sure. He fell off a cliff though.
Yeah, but we all liked him. People
for sure.
Amnesia, like, oh, Eminem wasn't doing shit.
Nah.
Everybody loved Eminem at a certain point. When 8 Mile came out, come on.
No, he was cooking. It's what hurt him is the same. Publication started to crown him. You've never heard Eminem call himself back in the day. You've never heard him say, "Nigga, I run this shit." He never came off like that. Now lately, he rap god and that. Like when he kind of got older, you could say that okay, that's cool. That's him talking this shit. He done made 1 million records. Okay, cool. But back then, he never really did that. Publications did. They ran the same way they're running with swag surfing because Taylor Swift found it. I mean, because Taylor Swift did it. Can you be mad at Taylor Swift or can you be mad at People Magazine acting like they've never seen it before?
Exactly. And what I told people, and I've said this before, I don't know if I told it to you, but when black people stopped rocking with Eminem was when BET years ago, I forgot what year it was like maybe 2010 or something like that. They had like the top 10 artists of the decade, the top 10 rappers of the decade. And a group of black people was sitting in that room on BET, Black Entertainment Television, and they named Eminem as number one. I remember that sent Twitter at the time because that was the hottest app.
Yep.
It sent everybody into a frenzy. And
yep.
Ever since that day, niggas have been bad.
They've been over it. Yeah.
They've been over it. That was the last straw. The other publications that you're talking about, they crowned him the GOAT because of the record sales and all this.
Yeah, they're clueless. Yeah.
But when we as a black collective sat our ass on live television on a black network, I say that, right? And crowned him number one. Now that was a slap in the face.
Yeah, no, that's they tripping.
Yeah.
And again, it's not just because he's white. There's other reasons. I don't even got to go there.
Right.
I can say that in the tuck. I got 6 other reasons before I even get to that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But
so
it's interesting. I'm glad Umar's sticking to the script and he's sticking to his brand. I ain't mad at him, but
yeah. I just saw that. I said, no, I don't agree with that one all the way. But it's not just because of that. It's just that he's not number one. Like now, I do feel like he is. Like he's in my top 10. Like I like Eminem. He's in my top
that's
10
fair.
rapper. Yeah, but he's not my number one favorite rapper of all time.
No.
No.
Listen, Eminem was the one. He was the one that people were like, okay, now he can. Okay, yeah, he cold. All right,
right. You
all right.
He was unorthodox. Plus, he had Dr. Dre, and he gave us 50 Cent. So
right, and by all accounts, his background checks out. Like he's more like us than Vanilla Ice had money. He made up a story.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that he made up the bullshit story about where he was from. That was cap. So people look at him like, man, get the fuck out of here. Eminem actually came from like Detroit. Man, nigga, how you been to Detroit?
Right. He came from that, and that movie 8 Mile pretty much was, come on, man,
accurate. So, like he doesn't come and he never came off as entitled. And if you listen to him, he always has said, Nigga, only reason I'm here, the only reason they bigging me up like this is because of my skin. He's always said that.
He's always said that. They're talking about him Elvis and all this.
Yeah, he's been self-aware. So people gave him a pat. Now, when the music started to fall off, the publications began to crown him. He started to win Grammys that he shouldn't have. That's when it started. It was like, okay, like that's enough. But again, that ain't him. I mean, he ain't give the Grammy to himself. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, one more thing before we get out of here.
For sure.
Wanted to ask this. Just hilarious. I saw this was like a couple of weeks ago where Charlemagne and Envy were talking about. Well, Charlemagne was like, "Hey, I'm sick of not having another host. We said we was going to have another host and all this other stuff."
Yeah.
And people were just like, "What happened to Just Hilarious?" Because before the new year came, they were saying that Just Hilarious was supposed to start the Breakfast Club as the permanent host, third host this month. But nobody gave an official date. The Breakfast Club didn't actually announce it, but Just Hilarious announced it. And then people took that different publication, said, "Oh, okay, since Just Hilarious said it," but Charlemagne nor Envy ever confirmed it. Nope. Fast forward now, I saw something where Just Hilarious shared something about them talking about SZA. And Mary J. Blige or something. And she was like, "These lame ass niggas," something like that. And everybody's like, "Oh, what happened?" So I don't know what happened with that situation.
Yeah, I can't tell by that tweet if she was being in Just Hilarious mode or I can't really tell because you can't tell tone in text.
You're right.
But she did kind of jump off a little prematurely. I don't know if that was enough to cost her the gig. I know it's corporate. It's a little different. People may look at that as not being fair. It's different, man. They got rollouts. You remember when Dre prematurely announced the Beats deal?
Oh, yeah.
Nigga, well, they said, come on with some of them points.
Tyrese did.
I mean, yeah. And Dre was right. They said, hey, come on with some of them percentages back, my boy.
Yeah.
Like, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Because they have they have press releases. They have rollouts. They have these things that are set in place to properly get the information out there. Mm-hmm. And she might have jumped the gun a little bit being excited. Who knows? And maybe, I don't know if that was, to me, is that enough to get you all of a sudden canned? That's doing too much. But it's also corporate America, so I don't make the rules. It ain't I don't own iHeart. So at the end of the day, hey, you got to go by it. If you want to play that game, this is welcome to corporate America, dude.
Right, exactly. So we don't know. I thought that I was excited for it because I can't.
She's pretty good on there.
Yeah, she's good. She needs to sharpen up her skills, but I don't know what happened. At this point, I think they should just keep it as Charlemagne and Envy. I mean, it still probably get the same viewership.
He was annoyed. Charlemagne was annoyed at that shit. Did you see him when he was on Breakfast Club about a week ago? He was hot about that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he was just like, "Look, I'm tired of this." Like, so I don't know. I know. Please just don't get Laura LaRosa. I can't stand Laura LaRosa.
They do need a third voice though. You need some balance. Yeah. Preferably a female voice. You have to have some representation, some balance. Representation because it provides balance. The last thing you want is 2 or 3 people on there that think the exact same damn way.
Absolutely.
That's boring.
That's what helped get them to where they were because they had different opinions and stuff like that. For a show like that, for sure.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but yeah, man, thank you everybody who did tune in and check out Red's View today, man. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Red's View. Follow me on all social media platforms at JAYR3D. CJ, where do we follow you?
Man, holler at your boy Animal_Brown on Instagram and Twitter. Of course, youtube.com/Culturalist Theory. We're going to have a controversial one this week, man. I don't know if people going to like this, but we'll be back. We'll be back next week with something that I know people have been asking for. So I can't please everybody. Let me just say that.
You got to put out that the Art of War, how to make Art of War classic.
Definitely. I've been holding out on that. I'm bringing that back this week, though. I got you.
Okay, bet.
I'm tagging you in it, too.
Tag me in it, boy, because you already know I'm going to have something to say. You already know, boy, I'm going to have something to say for that. So, yeah, man. Y'all tune in, check out the other clips we'll be putting out on social media and other clips on YouTube. And yeah, man, this is J Red CJ, Red's View, and we're signing out.